Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rajat and today we are going to talk about a very important topic, and the topic is negative indexing and range function. This is a very basic topic, but people have usually so many doubts around them. So let's move forward and we'll cover it with detail with some practical example. So for the people who are very first time on my channel, I request you all to please subscribe to my YouTube channel before we move forward. And without wasting time, let's go ahead. So let's open the VS Code editor here. Yeah, so this code is open. I think this is the previous session code where I spoke about the operations we perform on list and everything. So let's create a new file for today, the new file, and we'll name it negative index.py. In the same sheet, we'll save it in the desktop and Python where I usually do that. Okay, so now we are set to do the coding. Now, what is negative indexing? So let me explain it a bit in detail. So now guys, when we talk about indexing, so index is what? Like in a book, whenever we read a book, so at the starting of the book, there is always an index which talk about that which content stays at which place. So whenever we talk about a book, so in the book, the first is about the indexing. Like index tells you that chapter number 1 on this page, chapter number 3 on certain page, and so on. Okay, so basically here in Python also index is about that only. So when we talk about the elements, so like let's say we have a list. Okay, so in list we have so many elements like 1, 2, 3, 4 and x, let's say, and somebody thinks that which index 5 is staying on, so that operation is done using indexing. Now what is negative indexing? In the previous session there was a video where I was talking about indexing in detail. Now let me talk about negative indexing. So when we start from left to right search, that is a normal indexing. Now when we start the search from the right to left, this way, this is your negative index. And what is index? So negative index starts from -1. So x is at -1 position, 5 at -2 position, 3 at -3 index position. This is -4 index position. This is -5 index position. Now in any sequence, and sequences are what? Like tuple, list or dictionary, anything. So let me take a clear example again. Like let's say it's like 10, then there is RAJAT in the list, then we have 20, and then we have, let's say, Bangalore. So now we have 4 element. So as per index, how this goes, index, normal index starts from 0. This is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Now from negative index, this is -1, this is -2, this is -3, this is -4. So if you basically try to print the index 0, the output will be 10. If you try to print the index -4, the output will be 10. In both the situation, output will be 10. Now let me remove all this and let's do a practical example which will make things totally clear to you guys. Now let's say I have a list and the name of the list I keep as Rajat list equal to 1, 2, 3, Rajat, 5, Bangalore. Again Bangalore will come in quotes. Now you have a list. Okay, so this is your index 0. As per positive indexing, this is 1, 2, 3. Now this is -1 index from negative index side. Now I want to print the value. How you'll do that? So I will write print and then the name of the list. How you pass the index? The format is same, these brackets, and I'll write -1. So the code will automatically say that whatever is at -1 index, the output should be printed. Now this is the negative index. Now in a positive index, how we will do it? So let's count positive index. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I write the same code, but I will mention 5 there. Instead of -1, I am writing 5. So this is positive index. Now in the output you will see Bangalore written 2 times. Let me run the code. So both of them have an output which is Bangalore. Okay. So this is the core of this whole concept, that using the negative indexing also you can fetch the values depends on the need. Like let's say if the list is very huge and it has like 1 million records, so you cannot count the positive index if you want to see the last value in that particular list, but you can do using negative indexing. Now what are the other operations we can perform? Let's say if I want to insert a value, okay, using negative indexing, how I'll do that? Rajat underscore list, that is the name of my list, dot insert. Very easy syntax. Now in which index you want to put a value? Let's say I want to put the value at the place of Bangalore only, and I want to replace it with Delhi. So now as per this line number 9, what I am doing using insert function, at -5 index I am replacing this with Delhi. So now if I print this list, simply print, what to print? Rajat underscore list. Now if I run this code, so you guys will see in the final, if you see this, you can see that, right guys? So this is talking about the -5 index. Okay, I think I did one mistake. So this is -1 index. So from positive side it was 5. Okay. Now when I wrote -5, so -5 was which index? Let me tell you why this Delhi is coming here. So if you see, this is -1, number 5 is -2, Rajat is -3, 3 is -4, 2 is -5. So what actually happened before when I gave -5? So Delhi has been replaced 2. Okay, that's why this value is coming. Now when I give -1 here, so I'll run this code again, and Bangalore now let's talk about some operations which we can perform using negative index. Let's say if you want to insert a value at a particular location, okay, so that also we can do here. So the list name is Rajat underscore list, just give insert. Now after insert you have to specify the index, like before which index you want to give a value. Let's say I want to print Delhi before Bangalore. So what I'll write, -1, that is the index, and then the element which is Delhi. So now when I'll print this particular Rajat underscore list, so the output will say 1, 2, 3, Rajat, 5, then Delhi, then Bangalore. So basically what this will do, this will insert this Delhi before index -1. That's what will happen now. Let me show it to you. Let me run this code. So you guys can see the list. This is the list, okay? And Delhi has been printed before Bangalore. So that's how we use the insert function with negative indexing. Now let's move forward a bit and understand the concept of slicing using negative index. Now what is slice? In a fruit, when you take a slice, so what does that mean? You are taking a part of that, you want to give it to somebody. Similarly in data, when you want to give a slice, so what does that mean? You want to create a sub list out of a big list. Let's say if I want to get only Rajat and 5 and Delhi, so how I will do that? Print, and we'll call the list inside that. With the list I just need to give the slicer. Okay, so for this Rajat. What is the value of the index now in the new list? This is -1, -2, -3, -4. So I'll mention here, I need the first element from -4. Now till which? -1. So now when I will run this particular code, this will give me a slice of the data. So let me show it to you. So you can see that the slice has come up and the values are Rajat, 5 and Delhi. Okay. So basically this is -1. So this is not included. -1 is Bangalore. So always make sure that you know this concept. The last value you are giving in the slicing, that value will not come in output. That is just defined as a range for this particular program. So this will not include Bangalore, but a value predecessor to that will be coming in your output. So that's how the slicing concept work in the negative indexing. Now let's talk about delete option. DEL, simple, very simple. Now which value you want to delete from this whole list? So let's say I want to delete Delhi now again. Okay, so now what I have to write? -2. Why -2? Because the indexing is -2 for that value. Okay, now delete this value. I'll run the code one more time. Let's run this quickly. Now I need to print. I forgot that to give an action. Now this will be printed. Let's check out the final output. Now guys, this is the output of this delete word. Okay, so that's how we use the delete operations with the negative indexing. Now let's quickly talk about range function. Range function is very important because if you want to create a particular value or a range, so that's where you use the range function. Let's say for I in range automatically comes up. Okay, so that's a good part about this. Now if you see, so whenever you give a value, okay, so with the range function there are three things which you basically pass in the range function. That is start, then your end, then your step. What are they? So starting position, like the value you want to start with, the value you want to end with, and step is an optional step. If you want to give, let's say, every second value or every fifth value, so you need to mention 5 here. Okay, now let me give some real value in this function. Let's say I start my code with value 10 and I give a value till 0. So it need to execute from 10 till 0 and the step is -2 because I want to descend. Okay, here I'm not ascending the value, I'm just descending it. Now how this will work, basically I'll print I here. It's very simple guys. Now the output which you see using the for loop is here 10, 8, 6, 4 and 2. Similarly, if you don't give the step here, when I'll run this, so it will print all the value, okay, in a successive manner. See, this is a decreasing value, so it's not printing anything, so there is no output for this. Now if I am not defining a step here, now you have to write in this way 0 to 10 because that's how the mathematics starts. Now it will print the value. So if you want to go on a negative index level, again, that's why I'm covering this topic here. Now, using this range function, you can print any range also. Let's say I want any 5 elements, okay? Now when I'll run this, it will give automatically 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5 elements count wise. It doesn't mean, this range doesn't mean that you'll get 5 also in your counting. So this means that you will get up to 5. Okay, so range is a very important function whenever you do some EDA also. So this is something which is actually helpful. So just remember the syntax: starting point of your range function, ending point, and the step if there is any. Okay, so this is one example. Now this is a simple range. Okay, if you want to create a list from this range, how you'll do that? See, this is again very important for you to understand. If I give the list here, now in the output I'll not get a random loop like this. Now I'm what I want here is to create a list which have 5 elements or any number of elements you want. So just do this, run this code. Now this is a list. Okay, so you can create a simple list also using the list function. What you are doing, you're creating a range, converting that into a list. You can do that by assigning a value also. Let's say I give x equal to list range this 5, and now I just give print x. So now you'll see that the range function is able to help generate a list of 5 elements, which is here. Okay, so on that note, I hope you find this video helpful for you. Okay, and if you find this helpful, please make sure that you hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you're for the very first time on my channel, and do comment so that I can get to know like what are the good things I'm doing, if I'm doing something bad, if I'm missing something, so I can incorporate that in my video. On that note, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel.